Hi, I'm Jena, a sports dietitian, runner, and founder of Victorum Performance Nutrition. I work with athletes from first-time half marathoners to Ironman qualifiers, and my integrative approach bridges conventional sports nutrition with functional strategies, what I like to call fueling beyond the finish line. Today, we're focusing on 3 things that can make or break training and racing: hydration, sweat sodium, and fueling. My goal isn't to overwhelm you with numbers, but to give you practical strategies that you can test in training and personalize for race day. I wanted to start with this quote from Peter Attia's book, Outlive, because it really captures the way I approach fueling endurance athletes. So often, athletes come to me with either or questions. Should I be low carb or plant-based? Is cardio better than weights? But the truth is, performance and health aren't built on black and white answers. They're built on context, nuance, and integration. For endurance athletes, fueling has to consider not just macros, but also training load, recovery, hormones, sleep, gut health, and even life stress. So as we move into hydration, sweat sodium, and fueling, I want you to keep this in mind. There isn't one right answer for everyone, and the goal is to find out what's right for you specifically. I always begin with hydration as the foundation to nutrition and fueling. A well-planned daily diet and fueling plan will always be limited if you do not have the blood flow to deliver nutrients and oxygen to your working muscles, to your brain for focus, and skin for temperature regulation. Hydration is often underestimated, but it's central to performance. Even a 2% drop in body weight from fluid loss can affect energy, concentration, and muscle function. For triathletes, that can mean slower transitions, higher perceived effort, or GI distress. Now, hydration has 2 parts: daily hydration and then fluid replacement during training or racing. A great starting point for daily hydration should be at least 50% of your body weight in pounds and ounces across the day. This is my bottom dollar recommendation as a starting point, but you may need more if you have more muscle mass. Now, fluid replacement during training is the second part. If you do not know your sweat rate, aiming for 16 to 24 ounces per hour is a starting point, but testing your individual sweat rate is key. Some athletes may need a little less and some need much more. I have seen athletes lose over 3 liters, over 100 ounces per hour. Now, typically, I recommend replacing 60 to 70% of your fluid loss, but heavy sweaters may be replacing only about 50% of their hourly loss. 2 of the simplest tools are weighing in before and after a session and then monitoring urine color. 1 pound weight loss is about 16 ounces of fluid, and this would be your weight without clothes on before and after your session. Now, if your pee is dark apple juice, you need to drink more fluid and use a rehydration product. Something with about 15 grams of carbs and then about 500 milligrams of sodium is a great rehydration product. Now, if your pee is clear, consider backing off on your total daily fluid or the hourly fluid replacement during training, and then adding more electrolytes from either sports products or colorful whole foods. Now, those are starting points for fine-tuning your personal needs, but individualizing your replacement is best. So fluid loss is only part of the story. Sodium loss varies dramatically, just like sweat rate. Some athletes lose 400 milligrams per hour, while others are losing over 1,500 milligrams per hour. And that's why 2 athletes can hydrate well with fluid replacement, but one still cramps. Low sodium replacement can show up as cramping, it can show up as brain fog or fatigue, which of course can also be symptoms of underfueling, so we need to be careful. But too much plain water can lead to hyponatremia, which is dangerous. Sweat sodium testing can take out the guesswork and tell you exactly what range you're in, so you can create a plan that matches your physiology and not your training partners. Now, hydration doesn't work in isolation. It's part of the fueling, what I call the fueling trifecta: fluids, sodium, and carbs. Now think of it in phases: pre-training and pre-race. You want to arrive fueled and you want to arrive hydrated, not chugging water at the start line or a last-minute gel because you see other athletes doing it. Arrive fueled and hydrated with a pre-race nutrition plan at least 1 to 3 hours before race start. Now, during your training sessions and during your race, focus on steady fluids, carbs, and sodium. Your gut only absorbs so much per hour, so practice is key, and combining the proper types of carbohydrates also. Now, most athletes need 45 to 90 or more grams of carbs per hour, but this will vary on your training session, the intensity, your duration, your individual gut tolerance, or the type of products that you're combining, and sometimes even the heat or environment. When I'm working with athletes in nutrition coaching, I will line item each training session how to fuel per hour for that particular session. And if we are gearing up for a race, we are using products that are part of a race day fueling plan. Now, during other training seasons, maybe we use whole foods or we're going to test out some other products. Post-training and post-race, I want you to focus on replacing fluids, repairing your muscles with protein, and rehydrating with sodium and carbs. The big idea is to fuel and hydrate together as an integrated plan and not separate. So to wrap up today, here are your 3 action steps. Number 1, track your sweat rate and training sessions during different disciplines and seasons. This means if you're a triathlete, I want you to do a sweat rate on the bike and a sweat rate during the run. Try to test under predicted race conditions or different seasons of training. Number 2, match your fluid, sodium, and fueling replacement to your needs and not someone else's. And number 3, practice fueling and hydration together, not separately. So you can follow me on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Victorum Nutrition. And if you want to go deeper, I offer sweat sodium testing and personalized nutrition coaching. When you get intentional about your hydration, sodium, and fueling, you're protecting your health, improving performance, and making training a lot more enjoyable.